episode of Dealing the Mobile Sound from here at Callahan's, right here in Mobile, Alabama. This is a podcast where we talk about Mobile, Alabama area music and the people that create it. And today we are lucky to have my friend, the amazing singer-songwriter, Miss Kat Deal.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I've been really looking forward to this one. So as you can tell, we are sitting at this poker table here in the green room of Callahan's. And we just thought since we had the poker table available, it just made sense to kind of make this interview based around a metaphorical poker game.
Let's go.
So like a hand of poker, we're going to start out with anteing up. So let's talk about a time when you first put your chips behind yourself in the music industry.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know how far back to go. I started playing guitar when I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Awesome.
And I was not from a musical family at all. So I feel like even my initial getting into music was that for a bit, where my dad, but like I come from a family where we're always deer hunting and stuff like that. And my dad was like a big hunter.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I want to play guitar out of nowhere. And I had really like pressured my parents to get me guitar lessons. And I remember my dad was like, you got to wait until after hunting season. And so once hunting season wrapped, I was like on my parents, like I need to play guitar. I was like 7 or 8 years old, and they signed me up for lessons, and I never looked back. So from the get-go, I was like, I can do this. I know this is what I'm supposed to do.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
We're kindred spirits. I
Yeah.
started writing songs when I was like 8 years old, and neither parent was a musician. It's the same kind of deal. I don't know.
Yeah, they're incredibly supportive. Like I'm really
Same.
blessed, but just from the get-go, I was like, I know this is me, and I need to do it.
Right after hunting season.
Right after hunting season.
So, you say your parents are very supportive and got you lessons. What type of music maybe did they have playing? Like, what were you hearing that made you want to, make music yourself?
So I tell everybody, like, but until I was 11 or 12 years old, I only knew 60s, 70s classic country. Like, if it wasn't like George Jones, Patsy Cline, Tammy Wynette, I didn't know it. And so I remember when I was like 12, I listened to the Beatles for the first time, and I was like experiencing fire as a caveman. It was like there's other stuff, which obviously I kind of got like wrapped up in discovering other stuff. But at my roots, what I really love is like classic country music. So that old stuff, and then also some of the like 80s, George Strait in Alabama.
Yep.
But that's all I listened to. I didn't listen to anything but country or like bluegrass growing up.
See, I always, just as a music lover, people people you look up to in the music world or whatever will say, oh, that song by John Coltrane or whatever. And when you didn't initially know it, you feel like maybe I'm ignorant. But it's like, I think it's beautiful that there's always something else out there to find. You know what I mean? So I think that's cool that like you said, you were deep into music, and then you're like, oh, the Beatles, this sounds nothing like anything else I've heard.
Yeah. It was a
so
really,
forth.
really revolutionary moment for sure.
Well, I know you write a lot and create, and one of the things we like to focus on specifically about the Mobile scene, I love the variety and the way that different styles are woven together to either make a completely different thing, like some acts do that, but like where you're coming from is like a country singer-songwriter, but you're weaving in all these other influences, and that's to me is where a person gets their fingerprint. When did you come to Mobile? Let's just start with that, because you're from like around Troy, Alabama, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I came to Mobile 2022 for grad school. I got like a 4. I had to do my master's over at South.
Cool.
That was like the only school that I had a scholarship for.
Go
so
Jags.
Yeah, so I moved here for that, but I did my bachelor's at Troy. So and I'm from Troy, so I was always like, go Trojans. And then I did my master's here.
The rivals.
Yeah, and then that was like the rival. But yeah, so that's what got me here. And I'd always played music like through college, and taught guitar lessons to put myself through college. But I didn't even know we had a good music scene. And I moved here, and I was like, oh my God, there's so many places to play. I'm just gonna do this. And I've never used my master's degree, so.
Again,
Yeah.
we're walking similar paths. I went to South Alabama, got a degree I never used. I was playing music and kept doing it.
Why would you? There's you can walk down any road and you can make a living, 5 nights a week playing at all these spots.
So you taught guitar and played guitar in Troy, around Troy. To get us.
I ended up teaching at the shop that I took lessons from as a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I still have a key for it. They just closed it last year, but up until a year ago, I could just go unlock it, go in there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So you come here. Let's talk about that, because that's important to what we're trying to showcase here. In addition to the people making the music, it's why they are able to make it here specifically, and that's part of having the opportunity. So you came here for your master's degree, and then you just started playing gigs, or did you meet some local musicians? That, how did that go about?
So when I moved here for my master's degree, I didn't know anyone. I had one friend. And then I was like dating this guy at the time, and he was like, I want to move to Mobile. And I'm like, okay, you can move to Mobile, but you got to do that separate of me. Like if you want to move here because you're dating me, that's cool. But like we got to do our own thing. So I moved here and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got this apartment. Like I've got all these bills. Like you don't make any money from grad school. You're just broke, even though I was working at the school part time. So I was like, I got to find a way to make some money. And so I literally Googled live music near me, and I called every single place. Like y'all, I was being so annoying. I was calling, walking in every single spot. And then somebody finally connected me with Les Hall.
Oh my!
And
dude.
then it was right. And then it was when Les was going on tour with Larry, and he really kept me fed like the first 2 or 3 months I was here.
Les Hall, shout out to Les Hall.
Shout out to Les Hall, and shout out to Alex Daniels at Brickyard. Him and Noel, because Alex heard me sing Dreams, and he was like, Noel, if you don't get this girl every Monday, I will. And then I was set. So.
We have an episode with Noel on this podcast.
Oh, I love it. I'll listen to the Noel episode. I love Noel.
But yeah, shout out to Alex and shout out to Les. We will have Les. We might have Alex too. We might have on here at some point. But Les is definitely a big part of this scene, and that's really cool to hear you tell that story, because it doesn't feel like a competition here. It feels like everybody wants to show up at everybody else's gigs. Everybody wants to buy everybody's albums. Like we're truly fans of the other people, and that's really cool. That Les was kind of, you would have done, you were clearly hustling on your own.
Yeah, but he really helped me. And I always tell him that. Him and Alex both, I'm always make sure I tell them thank you so much for helping me out. And now in turn that I'm in a better spot with like the local scene, I've really tried to help push women, like even from my hometown or like in Mobile, to get out and play music. Like we need more girls doing it. That's the problem. It's too many boys.
For sure.
So need more girls doing it. So I'm trying to help them
Lead the
out.
charge.
Yeah.
Well, great. That's good. Well, now fast forward from there, you're definitely a fixture in the scene. Along the way with the playing of gigs and writing of songs, let's get to the next card in our game, which is the flop. Are there any songs you can remember that you thought that were going to really just be bangers, and they kind of met with lukewarm response from the crowd?
I think a really good example of it was like the summer before I started senior year of college. I was like going through a breakup with this guy, and then at the same time I was listening to a lot of Taylor Swift, which is like a really bad combination. And I remember reading somewhere that she wrote like 120 songs to go on her album Red, and I was like, I'm gonna do something like that. So about this one breakup, I had like 40 songs.
Nice.
About this, and all of those were flops except for one, and the band just recorded it. But through that process, you kind of learn like this whole attitude of, well, I don't want to write music because what if I write music and it sucks? You got to write some songs that sucks. You got to write probably like 100 songs that suck, and then you'll get a half decent one. So just taught me that, all the best songwriters are the best songwriters because they're prolific songwriters. They're writing so much music,
I love to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I've approached it. I don't try to, if somebody else has a different path, that's for them. But like to me, if you're going to call yourself a carpenter, you get up and work on building things with wood every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're like, I'm a songwriter, but I'm just going to wait for something to magically appear in my head 2 years from now. It's like, if I'm going to be a songwriter, I want to write songs.
Right. Yeah.
Well, cat deal, my people. So think about a gig then, maybe, that since we all have many flops that don't go over as well as you might think. Is there any gig that stands out where you really kind of had hopes and then you got there and it was like, meh? You don't got to call it a venue. I'm not trying to make you, make enemies.
Yeah, no, I get it. Hell yeah. I got one like a week ago, actually. It may be the biggest flop. I'm dead ass serious. Maybe the biggest flop of my gigging career. I'm not even lying.
A week ago?
Yeah, a week ago. Not in Mobile, though. Okay, so I went out of town.
The names have been changed to protect
venue,
the
not
innocent.
disclosing the venue. It had nothing to do with the venue. Love the venue. We'll play there 100 times over. Had everything to do with like the circumstances. So my boyfriend Joe plays guitar for my band sometimes from time to time, especially if we're going to go out of town, because you know what it's like if you're like a musician, you're going out of town, you're probably not making the money that you're going to make over here. So we're trying to cut costs. Obviously I'm getting my boyfriend to play on it for free. We get in the car to head to New Orleans to play this gig. We're all but like 5 minutes down the road. He's rolling down the window. He's hurling out the window. The whole drive there, y'all. He's like running a fever, sweating. We find out. So it was like, we had drove to New Orleans to play a show. The night before, though, he had been in New Orleans playing a show with this band and drove back with them. The gig that they played the night before, it was like a buffet that had been out for hours. He had food poisoning. He ate something bad, gets food poisoning. And then, mind you, the band that I'm playing with in New Orleans, it's his band. It's not my band. So his band that's playing with me, the bass player and drummer, barely know my music. Have never played a gig with them. I've got to play the gig with them. I get to the gig. I'm freaking out. I call Chris Spees, Baby Spees, and I'm like, you got to play this gig with me because he lives right down the road. So he was like, okay, cool. And so I figured out I was going to have like, you know, another musician that was going to add something to the show so I didn't have to do it as a trio. I'm like trying to get set up. There's this guy and he like gets up close to me, and as I'm trying to set up and I'm thinking it's a homeless person, it's Shia LaBeouf. And he's in my face asking me what time we start, all this stuff. And there's people coming in because he's over there. And I was so stressed out. Meanwhile, the whole time this is happening, my boyfriend is in the car throwing up because he's got food poisoning. And then I played the gig. And because it was like on a weekday night, we made like no money. So I end up being in the hole to a gig that I drove myself to where my boyfriend gets food poisoning and I'm getting harassed by strangers. So it was...
Oh my God.
When we left,
that's a good one.
Yeah, when we left, I was like... This is one of those nights where it's like, yeah, this is really what I want to do. Because if I didn't really want to do this, this would be one of those things where it's like, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm done. So I was like, character building night. That's what I said.
There's really something to that. I mean, obviously, we don't ever want those gigs, but there is something to that. And, I mean, in the larger picture, I think of it like that. Now that most of the money is gone from streaming services, et cetera, whatever. Yeah, it's like when you meet a lifer that's just been doing it for 30 years, like they're in because they love doing it, because otherwise what are you doing this for? Like, and those bad gigs kind of are like, that's how it'll be a good story.
But yeah, it is a good story. It doesn't even
story.
Sound believable, but yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of and then in that story. It would have been bad enough just with your boyfriend having food poisoning. Yeah. And then that was just the beginning. But you know what? You survived. You made it.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to play there again. And if it's equally terrible, that'll be okay. Like I said, nothing to do with the venue, just terrible circumstances.
So let's move on to this one because I'm interested in what your answer will be. The next card would be the turn. So during your playing of music, obviously there was a change when you came to Mobile. But when did music change from maybe something that kind of felt more like a hobby that you could make some money from to something that felt more like, oh, I'm a professional musician?
I don't know if it was ever like that for me, because when I was a kid, like I remember watching LeAnn Rimes, and LeAnn Rimes got super famous when she was like 13 or 14. So when I was like 7 or 8, I'm like, all right, well, I'm making X amount of money playing the county fair, like 20, 40 bucks. I'm famous, or like I'm going to be, like I am definitely going to be pro at this and not have to have another job. Like I thought that was happening for me.
That is great. I love that.
So that's why I tell everybody now, and I'm sure people ask you this all the time, like, oh, like, do you think you'll ever make it or like be famous or be successful? I tell everybody, I think I've made it already. I pay my bills playing music. If you would have told me that as a kid that I was gonna be able to do that, that's making it to me. I don't need anything else. So. Absolutely
100% agree with you. It's like I feel like I'm living a dream every day.
Yeah.
But people have this large making it air quotes. It's ambiguous. Like everybody has a different scale, but it's like we make art that we care about, and somehow magically we can pay our rent.
Yeah. Like, I think we haven't made. I tell everybody all the time, like my daddy, like he was blue collar. I watch my dad work, and he's a big man. My dad's like 6'2", 300 pounds. I watch my dad go to work every day, come home just sweating, like about to have a heart attack because he's done so much outside every day. That I would say that's work. Like that's a job. What I do is not a job, Right. So as long as I can do it and make ends meet, I'm making it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Cat Deal, the turn was at 7 years old when she saw LeAnn Rimes.
That's about accurate,
it was second grade with the turn, and she had her eyes set on the prize, and here we are.
Yeah,
you succeeded. To me, you are successful.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do. Though, is you got to set your own standards for making it, or I think you'll always be unhappy. So.
Well, it's also a little crazy. Are you going to go up to the butcher at the thing? Go, when are you going to make it as a butcher? You know what I mean? Like, what other
it's
job?
The only
it's like,
career, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're an accountant. Have you made it as an accountant yet? I mean, I guess they give me a check.
Right, yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I want to hear you play and sing if you don't mind. You got some
Yeah.
songs on your mind?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, while she's grabbing her stuff, I'll just say thank you so much for tuning in and listening to Dealing the Mobile Sound, which is the brainchild of Lynn Olshoe, who Lynn and John Olshoe also have Mobile Bay Radio, which you can listen to all of the artists that we have as guests here on the podcast, as well as many other folks, all either from the Mobile area or somehow related to Mobile. So check out mobilebayradio.com. All right, Miss Deal has her guitar in hand. What song do you have queued up for us? What are you going to play?
All right, so this is my new single, which is coming out on April 25th, and it's called Hydrangeas. Hydrangeas in bloom, white, pink, and blue, shadows in my room, lost within the hues. Open window, so easy and slow, like a Monet painting, it's ever changing. By myself in my sweet asylum, nobody else for the daylight to shine on, blooming in her quiet company. I think I've grown into my own sweet asylum. Paint blue house, warm candlelight, white eyelet blouse, soft summer night, Polaroid vignettes, full glass of wine, Herald cigarettes, time intertwined. By myself in my sweet asylum, nobody else for the daylight to shine on, blooming in her quiet company. I think I've grown into my own sweet asylum. Sweet asylum. By myself in my sweet asylum, nobody else for the daylight to shine on, blooming in her quiet company. I think I've grown into my own sweet asylum.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I love that.
I
And
feel like I could have played it better. Just got new nails on though, so it kind of gets in the it makes it buzz a lot.
it was great.
Thank you.
It was a mixture of the Patsy Cline chords and the good old 70s stuff that I miss. I'm glad you are bringing them back.
Well, my guitar player Tucker's bringing them back. So he has all these like really cool. He's a big garage band guy, so he has so many cool things he just recorded at home. And so we were working on another song there, and just smoking and hanging out. And that was always our thing, is we would like go through his computer and see what new stuff he had recorded. And he played me that acoustic part, and I was like, oh no, I want this one. And so
well, I also think it matches perfectly with the lyrics because it feels very floral and
yeah.
I was about to ask you the writing process. Do you collaborate a lot? Do you always co-write with the same person or a lot of people, or how's that go?
So up until I got ready to do my first EP, I was just wrote by myself. So the dilemma with that is you sound like yourself. And then I was like, I need to start writing with other people. So Quentin Ayers, I got linked up with him with Brickyard because he was like the sound guy at the time. So that's how I met Quentin. And then Quentin started helping me with my first project. And so most of my first 4 songs were all me and Quentin.
Oh, cool.
And then at that point, I'd met Tucker. And so I wrote this song with him. But those are only my 2 co-write people.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think I've co-wrote with anybody else.
Excellent.
I've started stuff, but as far as like finished, recorded, actually made it into a song, just those 2.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, some of the best. There's no right way. Like some people write with hundreds of people, and some people don't co-write at all.
Yeah, I want to do it a lot more though. Hopefully with you.
Oh,
but,
twist my arm. I'm chomping at the bit. I already got 5 song ideas. For
okay,
us to
heck
write.
yeah.
But okay, so you did. I listened to, I guess, the EP that you're talking about. Is that the one that's out on like streaming platforms and things? Yeah, I've listened to all that. It sounds great.
Thank you.
That was the one Quentin did.
Yeah, so he helped me write with it.
Oh, okay. Well, who produced that?
Okay, so the first 2 on there, I mean, producing-wise, it's mainly been me and Quentin. But then I've been recording at Greg DeLuca's house, and Greg just has like the best ear for production.
Oh, yeah.
Like I always tell everybody, Greg is like my cool older brother, and I want him to think I'm cool. And he's always just giving me like
That's
cool,
a good bar.
I think that's Greg as a person, but he always has just really cool ideas and like, hey, we should do this here, especially with percussion, because that's the one thing in production I'm always like, I don't have any idea how I want it to sound. So, and my first 2 I did at Dolphin Street Sound, which was also a learning experience because it was like my first time in a big fancy studio and getting to call the shots. So
well, I was impressed not just with the songs, but the production on that's really good, and it makes sense that it would be
yeah, I took my time with those songs. Like one of those on there, I wrote the song when I was like 16 or 17.
Which one?
Get Up and Go.
Yeah,
then
I really liked that one. I really liked that. Clearly, you have a very powerful like. Your high register, but like in that one you kind of start in a lower thing, right? Isn't that the one where you start kind of mellow and chill and then take it up? And I was like, oh, I like it.
Yeah, that one really stands out. I feel like everybody really likes that one, and I feel like when I recorded it, I thought that was the weak track, but that's not been the response.
I liked all of them. They'll have a different. It's not boring. It's not the same. And
yeah,
I think that's a good thing for me as a listener. So we're gonna get to like some of the people that you're gonna put your chips behind in the scene, but like are there other people that, because how many years ago, how long has this been since you're like Les and Alex kind of
3 years?
Oh, that's so
maybe 4.
So
actually
quick.
It'll be 4 this July.
So as you have been able to, you're playing a lot. I know it doesn't always work out where you can play and also have the free time to go out, but have you bumped into people that like potentially would like inspire your writing or playing, or I want to collaborate with? I mean, obviously you're making bigger and bigger community of friends.
Yeah, I'll say like for me, I've never been those people where it's like, oh, I've had this show, I need to go home and decompress. No, I'm like, I'll go outside. I'm always outside. I'm always at a bar or a show or like if I'm not playing music, it's because I'm seeing somebody else playing music. So
that's back to that community thing.
Right? I love it. I want to be out in it. Like I try to eat, sleep, breathe music. Quentin's obviously been a big one, just seeing like how versatile he is and all his different projects. So anytime I can go see him or the other guys in my band, that's like my top priority. If they're playing with somebody else, I always try to be their biggest cheerleader. Obviously, like I love going to watch my boyfriend's band, Surfers Club. Cool. The Surfers Club band. They've got a couple of songs out, and I love going to watch them. John Hart, I love John Hart.
Okay.
I'm like, he's so inspiring to watch. I go see him all the time because it's so. I feel like that's the only person I know. He's equally as good at singing as he is at guitar. Like you just don't get a lot of those. Him and Tyler Mack's like that too.
Yeah.
I really like him.
I don't mean to steal from the end of the show because we're going to get you to, suggest people that we should have in. But I just was wondering if for me, hopefully as an artist, you have some sort of backbone that you sound like you, and you can't get too far off of that, or else what's the point? But it's like, I love to be influenced, and it's like, going out, being wowed by people, it isn't just because you saw a jazz band, now I'm going to be a jazz player, but like maybe you go back to hydrangeas and now you play a major 7 chord. So, just little things make up the big gumbo that we are as artists. And that's one of the things I've always loved about Mobile is there is all kinds of music here. I mean, clearly we have country singer-songwriter, lots of acoustic singer-songwriter, but there's jazz and blues and rock and at a high level, like not just garagey bands that are trying to make it happen, like elite level talent. And anyway, so I was just interested if any of that's rubbing off on you in the 3 years of like that. And it's cool that the people in your band
no, we're so fortunate. We have so many great players in Mobile, and that's a uniquely Mobile thing. I've learned, like, as I get out and I play different cities and stuff, it's like the local musicianship just isn't up to.
Yeah, and it's like, I hate to, I mean, that's the point of this podcast, is just to shine a light on it. It's not to be like ours is better than yours. Like, we're not trying to play a team sport, but it's just like there is something special here. I think it feels different. It's a cousin to this, but it's worth saying, hey, check this out over here, I think. And that's what you're speaking to. I don't mean to take the words out of your mouth. Well, let's see. Let's do the next card. So the next card in the poker game is the river. So what we want you to do is imagine you were going to go fishing, on the Mobile River somewhere, wherever your little honey hole might be. Who are you taking fishing with you?
It can be anybody?
Anybody, ever.
Oh, probably my grandma.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't think she would want to fish at all, though. Well, I don't think she'd be interested in it. But
I would love to, end of a pier and talking about life.
I would love to hear her complain about it. So.
Oh, well, that's even great.
Yeah, I miss her every day. Ugh.
Yeah, well, tell me about your grandma.
Okay, so my grandmama, she was like, y'all know the yodeling kid in Walmart? It's like this little kid. His name's Mason Ramsey. He went super viral because his grandmom or his mom would like make him sing in Walmart. Like, he would just be singing loudly in Walmart, and she would film it and put it on YouTube, and he got super famous. Like, I was that kid. My grandma, she would take me places, and we'd run into her friends, and she's like, okay, sing. And I would like sing Britney Spears for her friends when I was like 5.
I thought you were gonna say like Patsy Cline or something.
I did. So I did. Britney Spears was like the one thing like other than country music I had, and that was just because she was always in the tabloids. So I knew who Britney Spears was. And she's from Louisiana. She's a country girl too. So I would like sing a little Britney Spears or something like that, or Amazing Grace. And for my grandma, she'd always make me do that. And then I remember somebody in my family died, and my grandmother was like, "You need to sing at the funeral," and then like made me practice singing all day. And then I remember she bought me a guitar. She bought me my first guitar too, and it like wasn't even playable, but it was like I could take it around the house and act like I was playing. So she was really the first one, I think, that planted that seed of like, do music. And she was just so cool and crazy. So much drama, like good drama. Like, she had like 3 husbands, and just was about herself and getting dressed up all day and going to town. Yeah. Oh, I miss her every day. She was a firecracker.
So what Britney Spears song did you sing at the funeral?
Oh, I didn't sing Britney at the funeral. I sang Amazing Grace at the funeral. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like I want to go fishing with Grandma.
Yeah. I don't think she would not be interested in it.
Well, she could sit there and, make the fishing more entertaining. Yeah. Right? That's all we're really looking for.
If she was here today, she would be singing with me, and I would be fishing, and she'd be talking about her third husband and the drama they have going on. Perfect. That's what would be happening.
Well, how about this? Just an extension of that question then. Let's just think of one of your biggest influences that you would like to see chop it up and have a conversation with your bored grandma while you're fishing, while they're having on the pier.
Oh, Dolly Parton. Hands down.
Look like Dolly, smoke like Willie.
Yeah, there's other musicians, but there is no one like Dolly Parton is next level. I don't think anybody holds a candle to Dolly.
Agreed. She's just a beautiful human. You know what I mean?
And
like,
she's so important. Like, think about all she's done for where she's from. She's from nothing, and like she's made her nothing into something for all those people. It's just
not just her. She did. Yeah. She made a lot of change in her life, and then probably not even as much as she did for the world around her, and that's inspiring to all of us. I think. I mean,
for sure.
In addition to being amazing, just as an artist. So so Dolly and your grandma, I like that. Okay, that's a good fishing
I think that's all I need.
That's all any of us need, really.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, you're holding the guitar. You want to play us another song?
Yeah.
Tell us about this one. Like, where'd you write it? What inspired it? What you hope it evokes from the folks listening?
Okay, so this one's, we were just talking about it, so I'll play "Look Like Dolly, Smoke
Oh,
Like
come
Willie."
on.
This one's probably my biggest song. Everybody really likes this one. And I wrote it because I look like Dolly, but I smoke like Willie. So. Got my mascara on and my jewelry's gold, but my hair ain't the only thing that I can roll. Life is hard and it can sure be tough to stay carefree and pretty, thanks to the green stuff. I might look like Dolly, but I smell like Willie. Just a hit or two every now and then is all I need. Might look like Dolly, but I smell like Willie. You can light one up and love me, or you can leave. You can bless my heart, tell me it's a shame. Once I spark it up, I know you'll feel the same. And by the end of this joint, oh, we'll be best friends. I'll admit my point. I might look like Dolly, but I smell like Willie. Just a hit or two every now and then is all I need. Might look like Dolly, but I smell like Willie. You can light one up and love me, or you can leave. Just because I am a lady doesn't mean I don't like to get hazy. So don't you act surprised if you see me all dolled up and a little high. I might look like Dolly, but I smell like Willie. Just a hit or two every now and then is all I need. Might look like Dolly, but I smell like Willie. You can light one up and love me, or you can leave. You can light one up and love me, or you can leave.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can light one up and love me, or
Yeah.
you can leave. I can see why that's a crowd favorite.
Yeah,
That's a good
it's
one.
fun. It's a fun one.
Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly when this podcast will come out, but I know you said Hydrangea's coming out shortly.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be out by the time that this podcast is. If not, go look it up in all the places that you get music, and you can get that song as well. You just heard off Cat Deal's EP. And what are your you got anything coming up in the longer term? Like what's the next project you're gonna do? Where you got shows coming up, or just
I have
more
a
of the same?
really cool show May 16th at Cedar Street outside. We've got Dustin Rudensky doing the projection style light show,
Oh,
and
he's
it's
so good.
Yeah, it's us and Grits and Greens, and then we're
Oh.
going to do some Pink Floyd in the middle of it, and I'm really excited.
That's
So
cool.
it'll be both of our sets will be all original, and then we're gonna like jam together on some Pink Floyd. But I'm super excited about that. Ryan for Grits and Greens, she's so badass, and I've wanted to play a show with her for so long, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then the Hydrangea's release party, but that's also on April 25th. But those are like my main two singer-songwriter events I'm pushing right now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And so the Hydrangea came out. Was that the only song you did, or is it part of like a larger? Did you record multiple songs and then you're just releasing singles? Or?
That one's just a single.
Cool.
And then hopefully I'll have another single out this summer, June or July or something. So I've got something in the works right now.
All right, that's what we'll get everybody ready for more Cat Deal.
Yeah.
All right, well, before we release you out into the world again, thank you again for being on our podcast and being a part of our beautiful music scene.
Yeah, thank y'all so much for having me.
Before we shuffle up for the next episode, we're going to get back to the thing that you probably have already mentioned some, but the end of the show, we always get the guests to go all in. So if you had to put your chips behind an artist in the Mobile area, who would you put your chips behind?
Simone French, my girl Simone. Shout out to Simone. I love her. I think she's doing everything right and everything that none of us are thinking to do, too. Like, she inspires me a lot, just watching her come up with different stuff on TikTok and the way she's distributing her music now and the gigs that she's getting. I just think she's doing so much cool stuff.
We all love Simone. And it's funny because about 90% of the people, when we ask who would you put your chips behind, they all like, I'm gonna get a bell, and if that's the answer, I'm just gonna hit it.
Yeah,
the Simone French bell.
You should. She
well
works
deserved.
So hard.
I don't mean that we love Simone.
No, yeah, she works so hard. And she's a girl too, so I'm like.
Well, that's right. I should just do. You and Simone. Have y'all ever played?
No, but we're saying we're gonna have to because that'll be the only way our plans will make it out of the group chat. Like, we'll actually hang out with each other is if we just book a show together.
Do it. If you let me know when you do it,
I will.
be there.
I will. We're gonna have to because that's gonna be the only way we hang out with each other. I think the only times that we've hung out or seen each other has been like one of us is at the other one's show. That's it. Is us just screaming at each other across the stage. So.
Well, everybody, make sure you check out Hydrangea, and also just in the general sense, keep your eyes and ears out for Miss Cat Deal. She's amazing, as you have just heard. But we're so happy to have you on here. Proud of you.
Aww.
And thank you all at home for listening to Dealing the Mobile Sound from Callahan's Irish Social Club. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Dealing the Mobile Sound everywhere you listen to podcasts. We really appreciate your support. And a reminder, you can hear music from all of our guests as well as many more amazing artists on mobilebayradio.com. Thank you, as always, to Will and the Bushman for the intro and outro music. Until next time, thank you. I'm Eric Erdman.